Hello everybody and welcome to the channel Crossing the Spiritual Streams. My name is Tandra and today we're going to do our weekly rune reading. And if you're unfamiliar with these readings, if this is your first time, basically we work them like the Tarot Pick-a-Pile readings in that we give you an option of 3 different readings to go and look at. And these readings are basically just your general energies for the week, what you might be expecting, kind of things that might happen during the week or you might be dealing with, that kind of thing. We will use our runes, our Chinese tiles. We do have our oracle spheres, so you can be thinking of a yes or no type of question to get an answer to. And we also will be doing our angel numbers in each reading as well, so we can get messages directly from the angels. Okay, I would also just love to take this opportunity to thank everybody who has participated in the channel. Those of you who have given the videos thumbs up, who have left us comments in the comment section, who have subscribed to the channel, and who have shared the channel with their friends and family. If you put a link to the channel on all your different social medias and give your friends and family an opportunity to check us out, that is the easiest, quickest way for us to grow, and we very much appreciate it. And so I just want to say thank you to everybody who participates with us in those ways. Okay, so the way we give you an option of what reading to go to is we put different cards out each week. This week's theme is hearts. So we have the 2 of hearts, the 5 of hearts, and the 7 of hearts. So basically, whichever one is pulling you in the most, whichever one your gut instinct is pulling you towards, go ahead and watch that reading. It is okay to watch more than one if you feel compelled to do so. Every once in a while, certain people get messages in more than one pile. So if that's the case, go ahead and feel free to do so. That's fine. And we're going to give you a moment or so to reflect and decide when you're ready to go to your pile, when you figured out which one you want to go to. You can look in the description and there will be a link to each reading. Remember, this is reading 1, reading 2, and reading 3. And you go ahead and go directly to your reading and we'll see you there. Hello, reading 1. Welcome to your reading. Those of you that chose the 2 of hearts. Remember, this is just your general energies for the week. We will be looking at our runes, our Chinese tiles, our oracle spheres, and our angel numbers to see what the angels might directly be telling us as well. So we're going to be doing all of those things. Remember, these aren't meant to be super in-depth readings. We do have Tarot Pick-a-Pile readings on the channel that cover things a little bit more in-depth on specific topics. This is just a kind of a general overview of the week. It might give you an idea of what you might expect or some things that might happen. Maybe a little advice on how to deal with it if that comes through, that kind of thing. Okay, so let's get started here and let's see what we've got going for the upcoming week here. That's interesting. When almost everything falls over like that, it means there's a lot of underlying things going on for the week. But the one thing that did pop up and did show up is the joy. And it was upright, and it wasn't, it was kind of amongst all of these things. So it means you got some underlying things that might lead to joy this week. We're going to look at those in just a moment. But this deals a lot with harmony and kinship. And it's very interesting that you pick the 2 of hearts, because 2s are very much a partnership kind of energy, a coming together kind of energy, and also because this is hearts for the week, the 2 of hearts specifically is very much that, coming together, that heartfelt energy. So it's very interesting that you get that harmony, and that joy, coming through this week. So, that's kind of your theme for the week. Now let's see what kind of underlying energies are kind of driving the week a little bit here, because that's what all of these represent, is kind of the underlying uh, drive for the week, kind of the underlying things that you might be dealing with, um, that might help with that joy, or that they might be just bubbling under the surface. They might be things that you're not really able to super tap into just yet. Um, we do have a couple of intuition and inspiration things kind of coming through. So you might have just some nice feelings about things. You might feel good about how things are going, or your intuition might help guide you in the right direction this week a little bit. But it is definitely bubbling under the surface, so I don't think it's going to be like a lightning eureka type moment. I think it's going to be very low key, very kind of down to earth. Um, we do have the journey or rhythm one as well, which means you might have some underflowing currents and kind of rhythm to the week, where that this might help with kind of your um, harmony that we were talking about earlier. It's just kind of this flowing thing under the surface, where things are, kind of flowing along, just kind of like almost like a river is kind of the feeling I'm getting, just kind of that flow there. We do have a little bit of the joy and fellowship underneath the surface as well. It was upside down and it was sideways, which does mean to me that underlying the surface is once again the fellowship and um, your destiny is kind of. I really feel like this is kind of just a regular harmonious kind of week, where things are just kind of flowing along in kind of a nice rhythmic pattern, where there's no really big upsets or huge changes or anything like that. Um, we do have the Thor's hammer, which could represent some of those other, more lightning type things, more type of stuff. But because it was upside down, I feel like it's more muted energy during the week. So, even if you have, any kind of danger or any kind of conflict or polarity or anything like that that might show up, it's going to be hidden underneath the surface during the week, and more of the harmonious flowing is what's coming through more than those feelings. Everything else might be bubbling under the surface and just kind of out of range a little bit, and not really affecting the week a lot. And that's where I'm just kind of getting this. I really just kind of get this flowing river kind of energy. Let's see what else we've got going here. Oh, well, this is interesting. We have the 2. Again, once again, it's that harmonious energy. We also had another 2, summer, which is another harmonious but also sunlight kind of, joy type of energy going on. We have a 4, which is another, it's a good stable number. It's also kind of the number of home and coming together. So I think things are going to be very harmonious in your home this week. You're going to feel very close to your family, people that you live with. Things are going to flow pretty well, during the week, because the other one here, your community number and your creative number, it's upside down. So it's not as much of a influence during the week as these other stable numbers are. Your creativity might be slightly a little less prominent than maybe what it's been in prior weeks. And we kind of saw that with some of these other runes that were turned over as well. Like I said, your intuition won't be like lightning type moments or anything like that. And that was also indicated by the 3 there. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our oracle spheres, where we can get an answer to our yes or no type of question that we ask. If you've never done these before, basically you ask a yes or no type of question, a question that does not have an open-ended answer to it, one that you would either get a yes or a no or a maybe or possibly, or an answer like that. You ask that type of question, and then we have 4 different stands that you can choose from to get your answer. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4, blue, bronze, gray, or green. And you pick which one you'd like to get your answer to, and then we go in, we get our answers. Okay? Now, a few other people have found other ways to utilize these spheres, and if you do find other ways that are helpful to you, that's great. I love that. I love the interaction that, people, participation that people are doing in these readings. So if you can come up with other ways that these are useful to you, like maybe more than one question and you pick a different stand for each question, or I had somebody that used different stands to utilize to mean different things, and then depending on what answer came up on it, it helped direct them. So however you choose to use them is whatever works best for you. Okay, so here we go. Let's get our answers. We have a number 1, blue is a yes. And a number 2, bronze is a very likely. A number 3, gray is a not likely. And a number 4, green is another very likely. All right, so we have a number 1, blue is a yes. Number 2, bronze is a very likely. Number 3, gray is a not likely. And a number 4, green is a very likely again. All right, so there's your answers there. Now, let's take a look at our angel numbers. And if you're unfamiliar with these, basically it works similar to these, where you pick a stand that you would like your angel number to appear on, and we get numbers for each stand. You can go to the description, you look up your number, and you get the keywords and phrases for that number. You can also go out to the internet and type in angel number, whatever it happens to be, and you'll find out a lot more about that number. And that's basically angels trying to communicate with you directly, or give you some specific messages, or some things they would like you to focus on or look at or pay attention to, or that kind of thing. It's one of the ways that angels talk to us is through symbols and numbers. You can pick more than one stand if you like. You can choose all 5 stands as your lucky number for the week, or whatever you feel compelled to do, whatever works out best for you, whichever way feels right to you, because there's really no right or wrong way to do this. This week, number 1 is gold, number 2 is green, number 3 is bronze, number 4 is blue, and number 5 is purple. All right. So the number 1 gold is 18. Number 2 green is 50. Number 3 bronze is 38. Number 4 blue is 24. And number 5 purple is 4. All right. Wow, it's interesting how these are all even, stable numbers. That's very interesting, based on what your week's going to be like as far as stability goes. All right, number 1 gold is 18. Number 2 green is 50. Number 3 bronze is 38. Number 4 blue is 24. And number 5 purple is 4. So there are our angel numbers for the week. Guys, I hope you guys had some messages that'll be useful for you for the week. And I really hope you liked the reading. Please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave comments in the comments section. Share the channel with your friends and family. If you put a link to the channel on your social media, that would be awesome. We would very much appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. We do put out these rune readings every Monday, so check us out and see what your week might be like. Also, don't forget to check out our Timeless Tarot readings that we have on the channel, as well as our other videos we put out on other spiritual topics as well. We do put out videos every single week, so we look forward to seeing you again in future readings, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Group 2, and welcome to your reading. Those of you that chose the 5 of Hearts. Remember, this is just a general reading for the week. It gives you an idea of the general energies of things that you might be dealing with, maybe some things that might happen during the week, that kind of thing. Remember, we were going to use our runes, our Chinese tiles, our oracle spheres, where you can be thinking of your yes or no type of question that you can get an answer to, as well as our angel numbers. We'll get where our angels will communicate with us through numbers and give us some extra things to think about or advice for the week as well. Okay, so let's just get our general energies. Remember, these aren't meant to be in-depth. We do have timeless tarot readings on the channel on lots of different topics that are a lot more in-depth than these general weekly readings, and you can check those out. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, wow. Everything was upside down. Interesting, but this one was kind of on top, so we're going to look at this one first. Okay, so what we have here is, this is kind of dealing with your knowledge. It's the torch. It's your creativity, your ability, your inspiration, things coming to light, that kind of thing. But it was upside down. It was on top of this other one, so we will look at it. It's also not, exactly the right way, which is this way. It's more like this. So there might be some things hidden from you for the week, or some other conflict or other things. It is interesting to me that you chose the Five of Hearts. The fives are more of a disruptive energy. They're a little bit more of a learning, training, going through some battles, maybe some conflicts, some other things before you get to more of a stable, respite type energy of the sixes. So, they're a little bit more of a change card. They're a little bit more of things happening. And so it's interesting how you have everything turned over. And your knowledge rune was turned over as well, which means that you might have some knowledge coming to you that was either under the surface or something you didn't previously know. Or this week, most things are going to be hidden from you, and you're not really going to have a lot of knowledge on things, not a lot of fiery energies or other things like that. It's one or the other. Let's take a look at what else we've got going here that might pertain to the week as well. Once again, this was on different talents or gifts, or even divine knowledge or interaction. So maybe with what we were talking about, fire knowledge here, and kind of that, the torch, that knowing of things. Maybe you're going to be dealing a little bit with your knowledge of the divine this week a little bit. You're going to try to tap in to that a little bit this week, and it might be just a little bit out of your reach. It might be just a little bit muted for you for the week. You might feel a little disconnected, because we also have the internal growth and peace and all that also kind of being upside down and kind of hidden. Also, your awareness, your manifestation energies, and those kinds of things are also upside down. So from what I can get from this so far is that basically your connection with spirit and with your intuition, your manifestation energies, your knowledge of the universe might be a little muted this week. You might be trying to tap into it, but having a little problem. Maybe you have trouble settling down to meditate. Maybe that's something you've been trying to do, and maybe this week is just really difficult for you, and you're having trouble doing that. So you're having a little trouble connecting with that this week, is kind of the energies I'm kind of getting here. Is that it's a little harder for you to tap into that this week. A little bit more disjointed, a little bit more disconnected. Okay. We do have the 2, and it was slightly upside down, so it is a little less of a harmonious week. I feel like there might be a little bit more conflict showing up this week. Nothing major, though. I don't think anything really large is going to come up, but I feel like the word frazzled come to mind. Like, I feel like you might feel a little frazzled this week. Like some things are going to irritate you. Maybe that's why you can't settle down to meditate or find calm or peace. Maybe you have a little trouble sleeping this week a little bit. that kind of thing. I feel like you just feel a little frazzled, like some things are just really kind of bugging you off and on all week. These other energies being turned over. Once again, the harmonious 4 is kind of turned over. So once again, I feel like you might not be quite as harmonious this week as you would like. You do have the red dragon turned over as well. So I do think that underneath the surface, you're going to kind of feel fiery and bubbly and maybe just a little angry all week. Just kind of, things that are going to irritate you this week, I think is the feeling I'm kind of getting, is you're kind of this prickly kind of feeling where things are just really going to kind of bug you this week. You're just going to feel just kind of out of sorts. And also, the 3 being upside down, kind of, your creativity is going to be a little less. You're going to have more trouble tapping into that this week. Like I was talking about your intuition as well. Okay, but don't despair, because we all go through weeks that are a little harder like that, but they're always really good for us. Okay, so even though you might have a week that's a little bit more grumpy, or a little bit more irritating, or a little bit more prickly, usually those weeks are good learning weeks for us. They're weeks that help us grow and get better, and because sometimes that prickliness irritates us just enough that it prods us into something a little bit better and a little bit different, because we want to get out of that energy. So look at it from the bright side. Look at it from that it should help prod you towards something better down the road. So even though it may not be quite as great as we would like, it's for a good reason. And like I said, and I also don't think it's going to be anything super major either. I think it's more like minor irritants all week. I don't think it's going to be any major, awful, big changes. It's more like just, like I said, prickliness and, those kinds of words, come to mind. Let's go ahead and get our oracle spheres answered here. And basically, if you're unfamiliar with this, is you ask a yes or no type of question, a question that has that type of answer involved, and you pick a stand here. We have 4 different stands. We have blue, bronze, gray, and green. You pick which stand you'd like your answer to appear on, and then we'll get our answers. There are other ways to use these that some other people have found that have been helpful to them. So if you find another way you'd like to use these, then by all means do so. I welcome that kind of interaction with my readings, and so I really appreciate that when you guys can find other ways to utilize what we're doing here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our answers. The first one's blue. The second one's bronze, the third one's gray, and the fourth one's green. So you go ahead and pick your stand, and here we go. All right, number 1, blue, is a not likely. Number 2, bronze, is a no. Number 3, gray, is a not likely. And number 4, green, is a very likely. All right, so number 1, blue, is not likely. Number 2, bronze, is a no. Number 3, gray, is a not likely. And number 4, green, is a very likely. Now, before I go on to the angel numbers, another thing I'd like to say about your week as well is forewarned is forearmed. If you know that some things might irritate you this week, or you might have some problems with stuff, you can choose not to let them bother you. You can go, oh, wait. I'm liable to be more irritated this week by certain things. Let me choose not to do that. Let me choose not to have that happen. So, we do have free will. We can help decide how our weeks go. And if you know that this is something that you're more susceptible to during the week, you've now got an opportunity to change that and make it a little less irritating for you as well. So just kind of let you guys know that. Let's go ahead and go on to our angel numbers. And basically how these work is we have 5 different stands: blue, purple, bronze, green, and gold. And we're going to get different numbers to appear on these stands. And you pick which stand or stands you would like your angel numbers to appear on. And then you go to the description, and each number has some keywords and phrases associated with it. Also, if you'd like to find out even more about that specific number, if you think there's more messages, deeper meanings for you, you can go out to the internet and type in angel number, whatever, and find out a lot about each individual number. And that will help you find out what the angels are trying to communicate to you, what they would like for you to know, and that kind of thing, okay? So let's go ahead and get our numbers for the week. Number 1 blue is 23. Number 2 purple is a 2. Number 3 bronze is a 16. Number 4 green is a 21. And a number 5 gold is a 54. All right, so number 1 blue is 23. Number 2 purple is 2. Number 3 bronze is 16. Number 4 green is 21. And number 5 gold is 54. So there's our angel numbers for the week. I hope you guys had some messages that will be useful to you and that you can do something with for the upcoming week. We do put out these videos every single Monday, so do check those out whenever those come out. Don't forget to hit the like button. Leave us comments in the comments section. You know, any comment you leave at all is helpful to me, and I do respond to them. Don't forget to share the channel with your friends and family. If you could put a link to the channel on your social media so they can check us out, that would be wonderful. I would appreciate that so much. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And don't forget to check out our other videos. We have lots of timeless tarot readings on lots of topics that might be of interest to you. And we do put out other videos every week as well. So we look forward to seeing you again in future videos. And may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, reading 3, and welcome to your reading. Those of you that chose the 7 of Hearts. Remember, this is just a general reading for the week. It's just to kind of give you just some ideas of some different themes you might see during the week or some things you might deal with. We will be looking at our runes, our Chinese tiles, or oracle spheres. So you could be thinking of a yes or no type of question that you'd like to get an answer to, as well as our angel numbers to see what the angels would like to maybe communicate with us and have us pay attention to for the week as well. Remember, these aren't meant to be super in-depth readings. We do have timeless tarot readings on the channel that a lot of those are more in-depth than this would be. And so let's just take a look here and see where we're at. Wow, interesting. They're all turned over. And actually, I think I got one more here, and it's turned over as well. Okay, let's take a look and see. Usually when it's like this, the energy I get from that is that a lot of the energies are underneath the surface, or you know, nothing has really come up for you to deal with during the week, or most of the things that are happening are things that might be ones that maybe not affect you much this week yet, that kind of thing. This is a transformational rune here. It's also a completion rune, so maybe there's some things that you're working on this week that you're working towards completing and you're just not quite there yet, because this was the one, mostly towards the top. We also have, this is interesting. This is the ice one. And this could be blindness, this could be blocks, being stuck. So maybe that's kind of the energy for the week. Maybe there's some things you're kind of stuck. Maybe you've been trying to solve a problem. Maybe there's something you've been trying to work on, or that kind of thing. And so maybe you're having some troubles with that. I'm wondering if that's kind of the energy that we're seeing this week. Try and get my light a little bit better so you guys can see a little bit better. Let's see, because that's kind of the energy I'm kind of getting. Once again, this is the innovation, shadow, self-reliance kind of thing, and it was turned over. So once again, I feel like all of that stuff is under the surface. All of that stuff is something you're having trouble tapping into during the week. This is our manifestation and our awareness of things and the universe and how it works. It was turned over and upside down. So once again, I feel like your manifestation energies, your ability to know things and have intuition and work on things might be a little bit more muted this week. You might be having more trouble tapping into that kind of energy. And like I said, getting that divine inspiration that you'd like to have to maybe finish something, because once again, this is the intuition and the light within an awakening, and it was all upside down, which to me just shows that you're going to have a little trouble pulling forward your inner knowledge. Solutions to problems might not be quite at your fingertips yet. You might, have to work at things a little harder to solve problems this week. That kind of energy. Let's see what our Chinese tiles might do. These kind of weeks, though, are really good for us sometimes because with all that bubbling under the surface, it means that it's still there. And that this week it might be a little bit more hidden to you, a little bit more veiled, but you have all of that, though, all of that intuition, all of that divine knowledge, all of that light within, and all of that, things getting you out of being stuck and that kind of thing. All of that's there. It's just a little harder to tap into this week and a little harder to deal with. So let's see. We have another 7 energy as well, which is interesting that you picked the 7 of hearts, because 7s are our connection with spirit. 7s are also a little bit more of a disruptive energy, kind of like the 5s, in that usually there's a little bit more strife going on, or a little bit more conflict, or a little bit more. A lot of times in tarot cards, the 7s are often the ones that deal with protection, or with needing protection, or thievery, or self-reliance, or those kinds of things. And so maybe that's kind of the energy that you need this week is, and that's interesting because all of these deal with your own inner light, your own inner knowledge, your ego, and these other things. So maybe suppressing your ego this week might be an important thing, and relying on spirit, I think, might be more important. It's not just that your intuition in of itself might be a little bit, you might be a little less connected to it, but maybe it's because your ego is getting in the way. You're not letting spirit guide you this week. And that's something that if you kind of are forewarned about, that and that you need to let spirit take over a little bit more, you can work towards that. So that's a good thing to know about that in advance. So I do like that. Once again, 3s are our creative energies and other stuff, and that is turned over. So once again, also our 2 summer harmonious energies is also turned over. So I do feel like your ego might be kind of at the center this week, that you might be letting your own personal thoughts, your own personal, you're letting your ego getting in the way of your intuition this week. There is a difference. I was watching a video not too long ago about how to tell the difference between knowing that something was intuition, or just something we just happened to think of and just happened to work out. And one of the things was how it feels, and whether or not, because one thing comes from our ego and what we would like to see, or what we think we want, or what our ego would like to have happen. And the other one just comes to us, is just something that just goes there. There's no ego involved in it. There's no thought process involved. It just happens. It's usually very quick. It's usually, we don't have time to think about it because our ego doesn't get in the way that way. If we're thinking about it, or if it's something we thought about first, or we overthink it, it's almost always due to our ego rather than just our intuition. So just kind of know that. Try to keep your ego out of a lot of the decisions this week and let your intuition and spirit help guide you, because you do have the 7 energy where spirit can guide you, as long as you're not blind to it, as long as you're not letting other things getting in the way this week, okay? So that's just kind of an important message for you to think about. All right, let's go ahead and get our oracle spheres. And basically how these work is you think of a yes or no type of question. We have 4 different stands for your answers to appear on. Gray, green, bronze, and blue. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You pick which stand you'd like your answer to appear on, and we get our answers. There are other ways that other people have utilized these stands, sometimes more than one question, or certain stands representing certain things, and then depending on what answer shows up is to help guide them that way. So if you find other ways that you can utilize these, that's great. I encourage you all to do that. So, if that's something that feels right to you, there's really no right or wrong way to do these. These are your readings, and these are for you, and however your gut instinct is telling you to deal with it, okay? So let's get our answers here. Number 1, gray is not likely. Well, popping out right away. Number 2, green is a not sure. Now that usually means to me that either the question wasn't very clear, or there might be things that have to happen first before an answer could be given, because it might change the outcome. Number 3, bronze is not now. Number 4, blue is a maybe. Okay. So number 1, green is not likely. Number 1, gray is not likely, sorry. Number 2, green is not sure. Number 3, bronze is not now. And number 4, blue is a maybe. All right, so those are answers there. Now let's get our angel numbers. And these work similarly in that we have stands for the numbers to appear on. We have 5 different stands. We have green, gold, bronze, purple, and blue. And we will get an angel number for each one of them. And so you pick which stand or stands that you would like your numbers to appear on. And then down in the description, each number has keywords and phrases associated with that number to give you an idea of what the angels would like for you to look at for the week, or what they'd like you to pay attention to and pay more attention to. If you want to find out even more about that number, you can go out to the internet and type in angel number, whatever number it happens to be, and you will find out lots more about that number, and help give you a lot more guidance if you'd like to do that. All right, so let's get our numbers here. Number 1, green, is 53. Number 2, gold, is 11. Number 3, bronze, is a 7. That's interesting since you guys picked 7 earlier. Number 4, purple, is 13. And number 5, blue, is 17. Okay, so number 1, green, is 53. Number 2, gold, is 11. Number 3, bronze, is 7. Number 4, purple, is 13. And number 5, blue, is 17. So there's your answers for the week. I really appreciate you guys coming here, and I hope you had some messages that are going to help you out and help your week get a little bit better for you. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up. Share the channel with your friends and family. If you could put a link to the channel out there on your social media accounts, I would greatly appreciate that, and that'll help the channel out so much. Don't forget to leave us comments in the comment section and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. We do these readings every single week on Mondays, so don't forget to check out future readings when they come out. We also have other readings that we put out every week as well, so don't forget to check those out. We have timeless tarot readings on the channel that are out there for you to look at as well, so some of those might be of use to you, so don't forget to look at those. We do put out videos every week, as I mentioned, so we look forward to seeing you again in future videos. May the stars guide your path. Bye-bye.